Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about a comedy drama film called Cashback from 2006. A lot of interesting things are waiting for you. The main character, Ben Willis, is a student and artist. He is having a hard time breaking up with his girlfriend, Susie. As a farewell, she threw a real scandal at him, even throwing a cup and then a table lamp at him. Ben has breakfast with his best friend, Sean, and complains about Susie. It turns out that this girl is wasting no time and is already dating another guy. Sean advises his friend to start a relationship with some model to make Susie jealous, envious, and eventually come back to him. The irony is that this guy is always rejected by girls. To distract himself, Ben goes to art classes. In one of the lessons, instead of drawing a fat man, Ben draws a beautiful girl sitting across from him. The teacher doesn't like Ben's work, and he reprimands him. Suffering from insomnia, Ben calls Susie at night. He apologizes to her, but there is no going back, especially since she already has a new boyfriend. Ben looks through the photos he took with Susie and wants to burn them, but instead hides them in a drawer. To pass the time, he watches movies, reads books, and even travels alone to other cities. But as night falls, he continues to be plagued by insomnia and thoughts of Susie. On another sleepless night, Ben finds himself in a convenience store and notices an ad for a night shift worker. He immediately applies for the job. During the interview with the boss, Ben notices a peculiarity. He can slow down time, but until he learns to control it, he thinks it's a hallucination. Because of his constant insomnia, Ben works in strange ways. For example, when he sees a packet of spilled peas, Ben just stands there and looks at it instead of cleaning it up. Ben's boss reprimands him. As he starts to clean up, Ben notices a pretty girl and stares at her beautiful figure. For this, he receives a second reprimand from his boss. At work, each employee has their own ways of spending time. Sharon, a cashier, doesn't look at her watch and is constantly trying to cover it with something. The more often she checks the time, the slower it goes. Barry rides a scooter at work and thinks he's a damn good stuntman. He also plays pranks on customers with his friend Matt. One of their favorite pranks is to throw an adult toy into someone's cart. At the checkout, some customers decide to keep the interesting toy for themselves. The couple also likes to organize scooter races, but sometimes it ends badly. The only one who is satisfied with everything is their boss. He can talk for a long time about how cool and rich he is. Because of the breakup with Susie, Ben hasn't been able to sleep properly for 2 weeks and feels like a zombie. But now he continues to understand how to stop time and uses this superpower to the fullest. In a supermarket, Ben slows down time so much that everyone there literally freezes. He sees an attractive girl in front of him and looks at her with admiration. He takes off the clothes of attractive girls who have come to shop, and no, it's not what you think. He is painting them. After finishing another portrait, he carefully dresses the girls. But where does this love for the female body come from? It turns out that when they were children, a student from Sweden lived with them. She could walk around the house completely unclothed. Looking at her, little Ben began to admire female beauty. Ben not only draws girls, but also takes revenge on his narcissistic boss. Stopping time, he takes it in a cart to the place where Matt and Barry threw a bottle of sour milk at each other. The artist places his boss right in front of the flying bottle and reverses the normal course of time. The next morning, Ben's friend Sean comes to visit him and brings up the topic of his breakup with Susie again. Our hero slows down time and recalls their childhood. They had been friends since they were 5 years old and could play video games for hours. Once, when Sean's mom went to the store, the boy showed Ben an adult magazine. Suddenly, Sean's mom returned. The boys managed to hide the magazine, but another problem arose. Since then, Sean's mom has been convinced that she and Ben are not just friends. When Ben returns to the normal flow of time, his friend advises him to find a one-night stand. Sean calls all such girls Natalie, because when they were teenagers, a girl named Natalie lived next door to them, and for money, she would lift her skirt and show them something. The next day at work, Barry and Matt laugh at Ben and then notice a new employee who turns out to be a kung fu master. Matt asks him to demonstrate his talents on him. In the locker room, Sharon asks Ben to take a bite of his sandwich. Ben notices that she has a piece of cucumber on her face. He removes it and, looking at Sharon's face, realizes that he has fallen in love with her. Later, Ben finds out that Matt has asked her out. Our hero recalls his high school sweetheart, a girl named Tanya Green. Once she came to school with a cast on her arm, which aroused the interest of all her classmates. Every day they wrote words of support on her cast. But after the cast was removed, for some reason the girl grew long, thick hair on her arm. While everyone was laughing at Tanya, Ben supported the girl and asked her out, and Tanya agreed. The next day, they went on a date behind the school. That day, Ben could have gotten his first kiss, but he got confused and just went home. They were supposed to meet the next day, but Tanya never showed up. It turns out that her parents took her to America. At work, Ben overhears Matt talking about dating Sharon. The boss shows up and tells the employees that they have to take part in a friendly soccer match. The game starts, with professional football players playing against a supermarket team. The score is 26-0, and Ben's team doesn't stand a chance. When the ball goes straight into the boss's face, the guy stops to rest and drink a soda. After taking a few sips, he hears a strange squeak, as if there is someone here who is not affected by his ability to slow down time. Ben returns to the field as if nothing had happened and plays out the final seconds of the match. After a powerful hit, the boss asks Matt to take him to the hospital, and Matt asks Ben to walk Sharon home. On the way, they stop for coffee. Ben learns that Sharon and Matt are not in a serious relationship. He is happy to tell her about his talent as an artist and walks her home. The next day, Sharon approaches Ben and invites him to go with her to her boss's birthday party. The boss gathers all the men and gives Ben £200 to find a dancer for the party. Our hero asks Sean for advice, and his friend agrees to help, but only on the condition that he is also invited to the birthday party. The boys go in search of a girl and find her in the first bar they come across. Ben imagines Sharon as a dancer, and he likes these fantasies very much. The next day, our hero slows down time again to draw Sharon. Surprisingly, he doesn't undress her as he did with the other girls. Ben is primarily interested in her face. He paints dozens of portraits of her. That same day, after his shift, Sharon comes up to him in the locker room and gently kisses him. Back home, Ben finally falls asleep sweetly. Sharon has broken the curse of his insomnia. In the morning, Ben wakes up to a phone call and learns great news. One of the galleries is seriously interested in his paintings and invites him to a presentation on Monday morning. Unfortunately, it turns out to be another prank. Everyone is preparing for the party, choosing outfits and rehearsing dance moves. Ben picks up Sharon and they go to the party together. The party is in full swing. Sean has been rejected by another girl. Matt and Barry are doing crazy dances, and the boss has decided to make himself a cool DJ. Among the guests, Ben unexpectedly meets his ex-girlfriend Susie. It turns out that her boyfriend is the brother of his boss. A dancer appears and makes the party even more incendiary. It turns out that this is the same Natalie who used to lift her skirt for money as a teenager. Susie admits that she still thinks about him and suddenly kisses him when she and Ben are alone. Sharon witnesses this kiss and immediately wants to leave. Ben sees his beloved in the doorway. He slows down time and spends 2 whole days in this moment, but he still doesn't decide how to apologize to Sharon and earn her forgiveness. Eventually, he returns time to normal, and the girl leaves. Ben runs to his beloved's house, but Sharon doesn't want to listen to anything and only yells at him. The guy starts to suffer from insomnia again. On Monday morning, unsuspectingly, Ben comes to the gallery and finds out that no one has made an appointment for him. Our hero realizes that he has become the victim of a prank and is about to leave. But the owner of the gallery says that since the boy is here, he must show his drawings. The man looks at Ben's work and likes it so much that he soon organizes a whole exhibition of his drawings. Sharon receives an invitation to this exhibition and goes there. She looks at the drawings and realizes that all of Ben's works depict her. It turns out that Ben stopped drawing other girls and spent all his time only on Sharon. They finally make peace with Ben, and the guy decides to show his beloved his abilities. The couple goes for a walk in the snowy weather. The snowflakes are frozen in the air, and Sharon feels like she's in a real fairy tale, and she and Ben kiss tenderly. If you have watched the video so far, you should know that I'm happy to have viewers like you. Thank you for watching to the end. Subscribe to the channel and follow the news. OLEJA Recapped was with you. See you soon.